had plans for me to have that name, and I think one way or the other he might have given them a hint.
A hint of what was to come.
Yes.
So last year you were using both of your legs.
Yes.
And this year there is this sudden change. What has it been like for you?
Well, a few things change when you've been walking on two of your legs and now you have one leg. You can't support yourself. You lose some friends, and you can't carry things as you're walking with your crutches. You can't run with the crutches as much as you would have on your two legs, and most people feel then you're disabled, you can't be able to do anything.
Okay. At what point, Charlotte, did you come to terms with your life now?
I'll say immediately. The day my doctors told me about my amputation, they'd already informed my mom. So I was out of theatre, and then they tell me, you know what, things have failed, so we have to amputate. And I was like, you know what, you have to give me 48 hours. I do my research, I get someone who has lived as an amputee for some time, so that I can see the picture of where I'm heading to.
And after that,
After that, I was like, I am now. People would come visit me, and I'm like, I don't want anyone crying. We have to celebrate. I'm alive, and I can go through this.
How much since February have you found out about the laws and policies that work for you?
Not much, because I would think not much, because I've searched about the policies that can favor me and help me with accessibility in different areas, with how I can get support, how I can get a limb at a cheaper price, and really there's nothing much I can really do with our policies if they're not implemented, if people are not educated about them, if we don't have all that information at our hands.
Do you feel that there's commitment from the government to ensure that you get to live your best life now?
I feel it's still lacking. The buildings around town that are not accessible for people with disabilities. We have the blind. How will they know these are stairs if there are no blur machines around them to tell them, you know, now you have this going on, or people to help them? So I think it's still lacking. We need some more push. In that area.
You work with children, nursery school children.
Yes, please.
How easy or difficult is that? Who is more accepting? Is it the children or the adults?
The children are more accepting than the adults. The children, their minds are still innocent. They're angels, so they don't look at you not being able to do something. They just try to help you. They try to see that you fit with them. They're actually they're angels, I should say.
And the adults?
The adults, they're so discriminative, they're segregative. Sometimes they use derogative names. They can call you Koloba, Humlema. They're like very names they refer to us, which I don't try it. These hurt us. They're very sensitive, I should say. And most of them have this mentality that these are cultural things, are curses and traditional. They have all these traditional beliefs which are not helping us as disabled people.
Yeah. In the school that you work at, and I'm sure that now you've gotten a bit of exposure, do you feel that children with disability should be in the same school with other children? Does it in any way help, or should they have a special school?
I think it helps. It gives them this confidence, and they feel accepted in the different places they go to. We work with some children who are autistic. We have children who have hearing problems or speech problems, and we have gotten positive remarks after them being included in a normal school for other children.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, we find that the most common form of disability is through a secondary loss of limbs. So for example, what happened to you?
Yes.
And this usually happens later in life. What do you think it will take for us to see an increased emphasis in preventive measures?
I think the government should first of all educate people about disabled people. This will help people's mentality change. This will help us cross out the beliefs that these are traditional curses. This will help us get people to be sensitive about our situations and take us as normal human beings who are able to do anything, as long as you've given us a chance and you realize their interests and know their talents. They're very amazing people. We are amazing people as disabled people.
Why are you sharing your story the way you are? Do you think it will help somebody actually understand that maybe I need to do better, I need to drive slower, I need to give more attention to things? Do you think people don't think about one day also facing a certain situation?
Yes, I think so. I'm one of those people. I never thought I would be here. but you know, we don't know what is coming for us until you experience it. That's when you know that you need to have driven safely, you need to stop driving while drunk, you need to be sensitive to other people who are in these conditions. So I think me coming out will help the able-bodied people understand us, and also help the disabled people feel that they can still live their lives to the fullest, get the confidence, and have a life full of fun and joy.
And you have more confidence than most people.
Thank you.
Thank you. And as we close, Charlotte, what would you like to see different?
Well, I'd like to be able to go to like a building and not have to hustle and get a way around. I'd love to see the government put in more effort to make sure that people with disabilities get to live a stress-free life without any hassles, because even with the ramps, the people who have high ramps, that still with a person who is in a wheelchair, you'll need someone pushing.
Yeah.
So we need to see that change happen in our country, and to impact the society, to change their beliefs about disabled people and receive them with open arms.
What is the one thing that you see people want to ask you but they never really come up to you and say it?
I think about whether I have a man, whether I can get pregnant, whether I can be a good wife. All those questions revolving around that, relationships. Yeah.
And what do you say? What would you like to say to them?
Normally, if anyone asked me about that, I would first of all ask them, what has my leg to do with any of that? Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Charlotte, for
too.
taking the time to speak with us and for sharing your incredible journey with us.
Thank you.
All right. Well, let's take a short break. Here's what's still to come. Civil society organizations commend government for removing what they describe as satanic clauses in the so-called GMO bill that Parliament recently passed.